It is notified.
And on behalf of the people of Turkana County Assembly, I want to wish you, all of you, as the Speaker of the County Assembly of Turkana, do solemnly swear that I shall always truly and diligently serve the people of the Republic of Kenya, and the office of the Speaker of the County Assembly of Turkana, that I shall respect, uphold, preserve, protect, and defend this Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, and that I shall do the right to all manner of persons in accordance with the Constitution of Kenya and the laws and conventions of Parliament.
Kuliko kusimamisha kasi ya bunge, at least kasi iende mbele. Mambo na election, ningependa kupeana ujumbe kwa wale walikuwa wamesimama kwa kiti ya speaker. At least waliweza kupeana ujumbe na resign, withdraw from speaker position. So kulingana na hayo, sisi tunaona hawa watu walifanya jambo mzuri sana. Ingekuwa na tashwishi kubwa, na kwa sasa hivi ule speaker mwenye alikuwa, tulikuwa tunaomba huyo speaker aendelee na kazi.
Waje nimalize kazi tu. Tenda upanga.
Kwanza ni kuwashukuru viongozi wote kuanzia kwa governor na MCS kwa kufikiana pamoja kuhakikisha kuwa hakuna kura ambayo imerudiwa. Tuliona Turkana wako na mahitaji mingi sana ambayo wanahitaji vitu mingi. Njaa iko kiu. So tukaona ni vyema tumrudishe speaker ambaye alikuwa hapa awali ili kazi endelee. Hatukuwa tunataka turudi tena nyuma, tuanze vitu tena fresh. So tulijali maslahi ya Turkana kuliko ya sisi binafsi.
The reason why this swearing has been done was occasioned by a ruling by a Court of Appeal, by the High Court on 2nd December, which was occasioned by some members of the public who went to court on the ground that the clerk of the County Assembly of Turkana failed to shortlist them and eventually not end up in the ballot. So they went to, at first they went to court, they obtained an order, which order was not within the law. It was not within the law because they were actively state officers. And the Elections Act of 2011, revised in 2017, requires all public servants to resign from their respective positions or offices 6 months to the election date, which these two officers had not adhered to. Therefore, the clerk, being a custodian of law, could not allow them to contest. And also there was a High Court of Appeal ruling. If you remember the Bomet County Assembly case, County Assembly Speaker case in 2017, where the Speaker of the County Assembly of Bomet was removed from office upon the petition by some public on the ground that he did not resign from office as required by the law. So that Court of Appeal ruling on the return or the resigning of public officers is still active. And what the High Court did was to circumvent a decision of a superior court, a court of appeal, which requires mandatory 6 months requirement resignation of all officers who want to contest. So the pronunciation of High Court was not right in my opinion, although I respect the court decision. It was not right. So these two officers went to court to requesting the court to compel the clerk to shortlist them and contest, regardless of whether they had resigned as required by law or not. So that in itself is an affront to justice. What the County Assembly did was to appeal that decision, the Court of Appeal. And in the Court of Appeal hasn't yet sat because they were on recess. But what has happened, upon putting an appeal in the Court of Appeal, the same petitioners who took the Assembly to court did not failed to file response to the court as required by the law within the 14 days. So as we speak, the only appeal, the only information that is there is from the side of the clerk of the County Assembly who appealed. But the respondents to the appeal did not file any response, which technically gives the County Assembly a leeway to get favorable orders or ruling from the Court of Appeal. Secondly, the same applicants who purported to have been locked also went and filed consent to the court that they are no longer they don't oppose the appeal, which now means that the initial thing was mischief. Why would you go to court? The court gives you favorable orders, and when this other party proceeds to court for further determination, you pull out. You see, that's the next thing I think which the public needs to know. And then finally, when I saw that all this is in circus and this long court process is hurting the public service delivery, I requested the clerk that he convenes a sitting to have an election, because I have the numbers. I have the supermajority in this house. I have the numbers. And being a senior politician, there are two options in an election. You either win or lose. Whichever verdict is preferred on you, you pick it and proceed with life as usual. So, when this matter now for election came in, the same people, same applicants who felt offended initially have written to the clerk again to withdraw their candidature from the ballot, which gives the same verdict the clerk had issued initially. So the process ends there. So this process has terminated the process of appeal, regardless of whichever outcome, but it's over.